He says, "Well, let me kind of gather you around and tell you what I can about Karse. So
Got
you know
around
you've
to.
got the coalescence of scorn, and who's carrying that? Okay,
I'm
Furry's
sorry,
got
we've
it.
got the what?
I
Oh,
put it
is
on.
this the thing that like blows and shrieks and closes the portal?
Yes.
Yes.
Ah, okay, I remember. That just sounded way more epic than I remembered Screaming Model.
So he reiterates. So with the vial, pop it open, aim it at the portal, and it should shatter that portal. Yeah,
I
I
like
mean
this.
you won't know till you try it, but everything he knows, it should close it.
Alright. Do we have a plan B?
If it doesn't close it, he doesn't have anything that'll close it.
Okay.
He says
Wait,
the
is it
coalescence of
destructible?
scorn, that's an artifact level item. If that won't close this portal, there's probably nothing any of us have access to that'll do it.
Alright. Good to know.
He says, I've said it before, but don't be in Karse at night. It's exponentially more dangerous there. He says, don't be afraid to retreat if you have to. Most people that go into Karse, come in, take a look, and get back out. The dead don't like daylight, so as long as you're out of there before night falls, they shouldn't follow you if you have to fall back. They might.
So we can kind of gradually clear the place out over a couple days.
He says you won't clear Karse.
Lighten up the path, maybe.
You might get the opposite effect. If the powers that be there think that you're coming back, they may actually fortify against you.
All right. Well, then I guess we better get to it if we want to. Early start will give us the best chance of getting it done in a day.
Yeah. He says, for the powers that be, the big one is Wolgrith. That's the lich in the pyramid. Don't go anywhere near there. If Wolgrith finds out you're there and has any interest in you, there's no way you guys are powerful enough to fight him.
Sounds like a fascinating guy.
I look threateningly at Nadar.
Okay.
He says,
we can go later.
You may already have this as a tactic, but I would advise against flight. Most of the creatures that fly are more powerful than the creatures that don't. So if you take to the air and get their attention, you're going to have a more challenging encounter.
So no boots, not using the boots. Okay.
You should be able to fly in there if you have to. I'm just saying the things in the air are way more dangerous than the things on the ground.
Things in the air come down to the ground? No, things do that. They can.
He's thinking things like banshees. They definitely will be in the air above Karse.
That's fun.
Banshees.
I do need to learn how to make those one day.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Today.
He says, so last night, even though I was tempted to be pulled into conversation.
I don't know your magic stuff, man. You're making marble.
I did.
He was probably in the middle of a ritual.
Notice the ceremony of your marriage and wanted to give you these. And he holds out 2 of those little summoning marbles, and he gives one to Milo, and he gives one to Nella. He says, these will work between the 2 of you. You should be able to alert and summon each other with these if you need to.
Oh.
And he says, I had time to make 1 more for contacting me. Use it when you need to. I can't promise I will be able to come and help you. He says the Company of the White Star is reforming to help hold back the tide of the fiends in High Forest, and he's got to go. And it's unlikely that he'll be able to come back.
Got it. So you're going to... There's a front for this war at this point.
Yeah, so he knows that the fiends have broken out of Hellgate Dale. He's not sure how far they've pushed out of there, but if they've broken out, it means that the elves weren't able to contain them within there. It means that Turlang, his ability to contain Hellgate Keep, is clearly over. and the company needs to get together and find out if Turlang's still alive. If he's not, we're in trouble.
Well, we'll be along as soon as we can, I suppose.
So, what are your plans? If you can close this portal, and let's assume that you can, I think you're fully capable of it. Where can he expect to find you afterward?
Sounds like we have business in Silvery Moon next. I kind of look to the rest of the group. And...
Yes, Silvery Moon is on our radar after this.
Sounds like there's some demon activity over there as well, and go sort that place out.
And Past is there.
It does, just like thinking to himself, like plans. I feel like there was a plan that I was supposed to do. Kind of looks around at each person, then he looks at Milo. Ah, right, yes, here we go. There you go, Milo.
Oh, so much better. It's not big, but it's a difference between having disadvantage on every single attack for an entire encounter. So, I mean, I know you've only got 4 first level slots, but in important fights, popping that above my head if I'm going to be in the same place for a while might not be the worst idea.
And you do find within the dense forest, you're okay.
Okay.
Yeah, the cover of the trees, at least in high forest, is thick enough to kind of avert that disadvantage that you're getting.
Crushing agoraphobia.
Yeah. So Evan says, I can send a message to Merrick for you if you need me to. Is there anything you want to pass back to them?
We should tell them something. Oh,
If we die, we went as heroes.
If we die, don't be surprised if I do Visage.
I turned to the group because I don't have any ties to Merrick other than like I met you guys there. I was like, aren't you guys supposed to be defending them from an orc invasion in a couple months?
yes. And we tried to train people because this was.
And there are gods and they're better defenses, so they should hold out for. And I mean, we're gonna be so much stronger when we get back if we get back.
Oh yeah, orcs are gonna be nothing. We're gonna just like wade through the like.
I don't like the look on Mike's face when you said that.
What?
I do not like the look on Mike's face.
Orcs are nothing. You guys are fine.
Yeah,
But,
I'm just saying we have to be there.
But also, they would die if we wouldn't do this anyways.
Right. No, I just meant should we pop back in on them and just annihilate orcs until they're afraid to ever come around again?
I would really like to do that, but I also understand.
Do we have a date, DM? Like a current timeline on that? It was 6 months.
Right. It was 6 months, and then you guys took, 3 months?
3 in downtime, give or take.
Yeah.
And then White Plume Mountain.
That's only been a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
You did a 2 weeks travel and then teleporting around.
You cut out.
So you've got about 6 weeks is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, we should have time.
But we also need to fulfill our contract.
Right. So if we can get that done in 6 weeks, we can take 2 weeks off, go to Merrick, just wipe some folks out, and then straight on to Hellgate Dale.
I'm so happy when you say that. My husband, people.
And for the thing, or us going into Karse, I don't know how many of there have true sight, but I bought something that will maybe help us. And Ferry will pull out the dust of disappearance. It only has an effect of a few minutes, so we have to time it really well.
Yeah.
You people know I'm not the stealthiest.
Yeah. And I have one more thing for Nella, just because, crushes and such. But here's, and then I hand her an Ioun Stone of Protection. So you give it a command word, and it'll go around you, and it'll help block anything that tries to hurt you.
Erevan says, if there's no more questions for me, I gotta go.
Yeah.
Any advice for the last minute?
You guys seem fully capable at this point. I mean, you've gotten farther than I would have imagined you'd be able to. Expect bounty hunters to track you down. Waterdeep's not going to let that slight go unanswered. Be careful of the Lardigrith family, because they also are going to send people against you.
Okay, but if you see, when you get there, if you see Nyochi, could you tell him that I'm probably going to have to summon him soon, after this whole cast incident?
Yes.
Thank you.
So I'll be sending word. If I can send a messenger, I'll see if he can track down Nyochi. But
shouldn't be hard to find.
Yeah.
Also tell
he doesn't know who
Ophelia.
Nyochi is, so I doubt eventually.
Tell Ophelia we will try to get there, but if we don't, use the weapon wisely.
Okay.
I'd look at Freer and be like, Ophelia's probably dead, right?
Do you know who Ophelia is?
I'm fully aware she's a sassy old lady.
She doesn't like him.
I understand she's too ornery and cussed to die, but
yeah, but
we're gonna come back. She's gonna be like a level 4 ranger and be like, "Welcome back, guys."
We try to give her the tools she needed, and she has some spite in her.
Yeah.
And some vinegar, so.
And Nyochi.
So is Evan gone now?
Yep. He teleports on out.
I turn to the group and I say, well, almost certain death and a slim chance of success. What are we waiting for?
This sounds like Tuesday.
It also sounds like we need a couple of minutes to coordinate our plans.
We've never actually done that, have we?
I'm sorry, do we have a map that we can plan around? Because
I'm like, plan?
Right now the plan is to bash our way through demons to the portal and close the portal and GTFO before nightfall.
But also maybe trying to sneak in and not bash everything.
You think you can pull that off?
And a little
with
bit
the dust
of sightseeing.
With the dust, I can.
All right. I'm willing to give it a shot.
A little bit of luck, it's all it takes.
Well, you got 2 halflings, so you got plenty of that.
A lot of halfling luck. I got it. So, look at the little luck charms. Should we go?
Okay, so you head south from this little secluded camp. It's less than 200 yards to the south before you hear the river and, come across a clearing, seeing it. There's a stone bridge that spans the river. It's about 20 feet wide. And next to the stone bridge is a 12-foot tall, pretty crudely built, but little watchtower. It's been a lot of wood. But it looks like if you were going to try and hold the bridge, that'd be a good spot to get the archers and spellcasters up in. The bridge is in surprisingly good repair. It looks pretty new.
All right, so do we see anybody on the other side of the bridge?
No. Again, it's heavily wooded. You can see a good 60 feet out, but if somebody is hiding in ambush, it would definitely be hard to see them.
I have the hand on the hilt, trying to sense stuff around me.
Okay, you do your sense. On this side of the river, the side you're on, you can sense, like possums and rats and woodland creatures. On that side, nothing.
How many meters how many feet are we from it?
From the bridge itself, you're back 60 feet from it.
Okay. The moment we get closer and we're like 30 feet, Fury will cast Divine Sense.
Okay. You don't come up with any hits. Nothing.
All right.
That's unusual.
I do have a mount now,
too.
so I am much faster. If you want me to ride up there and try and pull anything out of an ambush and bring them back in, I can give that a shot.
We can just slow and steady make our way over.
I mean, whatever y'all want to do, I'm up for it.
Okay.
I did pay extra for this one, and I kind of pat Remus on the neck. He's a bit bigger, a bit stronger, and a bit better trained than the others, and so he could actually carry me and.
He's a good boy.
Yeah, he is. So Nella could actually ride with me and shoot from the back as well.
Do we have 10 minutes?
It's early.
Yeah.
You guys headed out at daybreak.
What's the plan?
I look around. I find suitable size log, and I'll cast as a ritual Magic Mouth onto the log, and then I'll ask someone to throw this over the bridge, and I tell it to yell if there's any creatures, if any movement.
All right. Do you want to do it, Freer, or do you want me to?
Show me your strength.
All right. Just Scottish log run end over end.
It flips over and
Paper tossing.
thumps heavy into the dirt.
Oh, Milo.
Lays there, loggish like.
And then I'd hop back up on Remus, and I'll just start to saunter across the bridge nice and slowly.
You get over. I mean, you get to the end of the bridge. Nothing's jumped out of the bushes or anything to come after you. Give me a perception check, Leah. You scan the trees and all the places that you would expect boogeymen to jump out of, and you don't see anybody waiting for you.
All right, I will.
I was mildly disappointed.
I'll pull a javelin out just in case, just because it's got a little more range, and then I'll just
Does
kind of.
Bella see anything?
How close do you get? Do you go up to Milo? Do you stay on the safe side of the bridge?
She goes up to Milo.
Okay. Hit me with a perception. Yeah, same thing. You give it a good hard look, and you're pretty good at spotting ambushes, but you don't see anybody hiding.
Seems safe.
It's abnormally quiet.
Oh, I don't trust this already, but it seems safe.
We are going to the city of the undead. I imagine that the wife.
Furry will click her boots and hover above the ground like this bit. And
fate, don't you?
like just and just tries to hear if she makes a lot of sound. If you just hover straight a little bit over the ground.
Okay. So you just kind of do the Sith move through the air.
Yes, yeah. Yeah.
This is why the paladin doesn't care about me.
I knew you were an oathbreaker.
How far ahead of Milo and Nella do you go?
Oh no, I'm just going to get up to them.
Okay. Yeah, you catch up with them and nothing changes.
But do I make a lot of sound?
It's a little quieter, but you still clink and clang.
Okay.
But it is a little quieter. You're not marching for sure.
Yeah. Any intelligent creatures that see you will just like rub their eyes, and then you disappear behind a tree, and be like, "I think it's just my imagination."
Oh, I need to go to bed.
Paladins in my eyes.
Okay.
And I was just gonna kind of sigh, sag a little, kind of cross the bridge after everybody.
All right.
Really hoping for some undead.
Yeah.
All right. Y'all wonder what happened to Allie, and then turn around and boom, there he is.
Keep moving on. I guess I'll stay out frontish.
Okay. As soon as you step off that bridge, you hear yelling, screaming, coming from above.
That perks up.
Damn it. I immediately throw Whelm at the lock. try and break it and shut it down.
I have to cast some magic now. I'm sorry.
All right. The log goes quiet. Go ahead and make an attack. Let's see if you hit the log.
Standard hammer throw. I don't think you guys
Stop playing with my emotions like that.
Oh yeah! Boom! The log shatters into bark dust, and the echoes of the yelling and the thumping kind of echo through the forest, die off, and eerily quiet again.
All right.
Does it attract some other creatures?
You wait
It was a good plan.
You wait a couple of seconds. You don't hear anything coming.
Okay.
Prairie, I'm just going to assume that you're keeping your hand on the sword, seeing if it picks up any creatures coming.
I do.
But let's move away from this point of contact then at a slow but medium-ish pace.
That is a good point.
Medium
Actually, do
pace.
have wave.
So there's a rough path leading south away from the bridge. Do you want to follow that, or do you want to get off the path and away from that?
Do we have a sense of where Karse is?
All you know is that Era Evans said it was south of the bridge.
Well, I guess let's head south, but like we could stick to the sides of buildings. Maybe don't follow the main road, but just follow the road just off of it.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a little bit louder bushwhacking, but it's also in better cover.
He warned us about flying stuff, so no cover might be a good idea.
Yeah, we've already created enough noise.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's just stick to the main road then, but we'll like stick to the sides of the buildings, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah. Although it's a forest, but yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a forest. I thought we were in.
We
city.
haven't made it to Karse yet. No,
Oh,
We're never going to make it to Karse.
we're gently inching our way towards Karse with great fear and trepidation.
On the main map here, Karse is not right on the river, the Heartblood River, but it's supposedly close.
I mean, the circle touches it, so.
Bad
yeah,
touch. Bad touch.
I say we stay in the tree cover, but on the main side of it.
Just that way we don't have to like dive off the road like
Yeah.
Okay.
we're gonna hide.
So you move forward another 100 yards, and pretty quickly you see fog starting to form up in the trees. It seems to just kind of be sticking to the ground, but the further you move forward, the thicker this fog gets. Visibility in general drops down to about 100 feet. You keep moving forward, and finally the tree line kind of peters out, and the trees stop altogether. And you see there's a couple of gravestones ahead of you in the field.
My first question is, who's Peter?
He's out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Finally, some signs of death.
You approach him.
Lose all hope.
You can see the trail does just kind of head straight on past him.
Do we see a pyramid peeking up out of the mist in the distance?
Nope.
Okay. To skirt around it if we could. Anybody
Oh, we
have
see
any ideas other than move forward?
It's just two. They're ancient. They're old.
Oh,
I
Probably
didn't
several
well,
hundred
from,
years old.
I'm not even-
Is there any writing on there?
Yes.
Are we close enough to see him?
What does it say?
You look it over. It's a couple of names. There's no date on them.
What?
Do we recognize the names?
Give me a history check.
I'm so good at these.
I probably knew him.
Allie is
Out of
certain
him, I hated
you
that guy.
would. So is Furry. Yeah.
They were
I'm
obviously
not proficient in
halflings.
history, but I can take a look, I guess. Nope.
Nella and Milo, they sound like human names to you rather than dwarven or halfling or anything like that.
Those are always the same.
Just some people. Steve and Craig.
No, we like Steve.
No. Oh, yeah.
Remember, Steve is our friend, not food.
Steve the Steed.
Wait. I will.
What's he going to do now?
I will cast this as
Phantom Steve.
yes, and I will name him Steve. Steven. Yes, Steven.
Well, if we've got somebody on a full-size horse, you guys can take Nadar. Nella can ride with me, and we'll all, so we can move a little bit more quickly and quietly.
So I should get Steve.
I mean, if we're already running two mounts, there's no reason not to three and get everybody off the.
Sorry, I cannot summon Steve today
Damn it, woman! Why is Steve unavailable?
because I haven't prepared Steve
Prepared
for today.
Okay, so Furry's the only one on foot right now?
Furry
doing
will
your Sith
hover.
Holding the sword.
No. Actually, Furry will also get Gwenda ready.
Okay.
Yeah, just watching you float along. You know, I got a really good cloak at home you might want.
Cloakability.
So Free has Stormy and Gwenda.
Okay. As you move forward, you saw those first two, and you see a scattering of other old gravestones. Again, it looks like just human names on them. The landscape's kind of softly rolling, and as you peak one of the small hills, you see a couple of things. None of them are good.
Why am I not surprised?
Unless they're zombies.
I will dispel.
They're
this
not
one.
as far.
No, actually, I'll keep it.
He just panics. Ah! Drops to the ground.
No, I'll keep the bush for now. Ooh.
Is that a skeleton bleeding from a non-existent jugular?
You are at the top center, and let me show you what parts you see here.
Yes. Also,
That was the VIP.
Can we see Karse from here?
Oh.
You know what? I've changed my mind. Let's go home.
Nadar looks up at the giant's corpse. A single solitary tear rolls from his eye.
I turn to Nella and I'm like, so let's just leave the prime material plane and we can retire to the Feywild?
Oh. Here.
No.
That's the thing that Nadar is not going to. That's the thing that Nadar is not allowed to go.
We are for purpose. We're gonna...
Nadar, if I see you breathe in the general direction of the Lich's lair, going to have to knock you unconscious and drag you through Karse, and you won't get to see any of it.
And knowing how hard
I will
Milo can
turn this party around.
Yeah, whatever,
So
Dad.
The graves have definitely filled in the remaining landscape. They've gotten more and more dense as you've gotten closer to Karse.
They've sure got a lot of graves for a place where everything is undead.
More and more thick, as they would say.
Yeah, but that's probably where they're resting, and they can raise them up whenever they think, oh, adventurers are being stupid and coming here. Like us.
Actually, that's a very good point. I do really need some zombies, and we're completely surrounded by graves.
Damn it, Nadar.
Nadar, don't.
For
Yeah,
the
probably skeletons.
first time since you've been moving forward, you actually do pick up some life. You're starting to catch on. There's some crows around. There's the occasional rats moving around the graves. The mist that's formed this fog is cold, like not normal fog cold. It is very cold, and it reeks of death.
I don't need my sense to know this is desecrated.
Yeah, you're pretty sure if you flipped it off, it would register as highly desecrated.
Just so we're clear, is that a skyscraper-sized broadsword in that dude's face?
That's a skyscraper size broadsword, yeah.
Okay.
Milo wants it.
Milo knows better than to use weapons for him because he died that way once.
And the skull's probably 80 feet across.
80 feet. I could sprint that far. That's not good.
I wouldn't want it to come alive.
I mean, you guys don't have a lot of experience with giants, but all this. Well, I guess Milo, you have a little experience with giants. This thing is
far
way
bigger
beyond
than a giant.
what
Yeah.
a giant would be.
Yeah, we come up to the the kneecaps of a giant. We come up to the toenails of that thing.
Yeah.
That's not good.
As you're standing
So
there,
beautiful.
kind of going, "Ooh, this is not a good place." Shadows kind of just roll over you. They are human shaped. They don't harm
Are
you.
they-
They don't.
Oh, they're not shadows as
They,
in
they
the
don't
enemy.
register as undead, but they just kind of come whipping through. And as you're standing to the south, let's see, I guess it'd be south by southeast, you hear the very distinct wailing of a woman, like screaming in agony.
Look, get.
Banshee.
We need to move.
We need to get out.
What's it's just gravestones around us?
Yeah,
What are those square things? Are those like cathedral like little
they're pretty simple, like
Mausoleums?
Yeah,
Mausoleum
well,
things.
when I think mausoleums, I think of a big building. These would be like small single occupant mausoleums.
Yeah.
So it's just
Okay.
a door then?
Let's. So can you ping on the map where we heard that banshee? Obviously.
So it's hard
If
to
it was a
tell
banshee,
how
at least
far
three of
it
us would be dead.
was. Whoever's got the best survival, give me a survival, and you can get a gauge on how far away it is. But it was kind of south by southeast. It was out this direction.
Me, I
I think
guess.
it's him.
All right.
Oh,
Yeah,
Oh my god.
it could have been coming from the pyramid. Could be somewhere closer than that.
Pyramidy direction. So I vote we travel on the other side, safe because I have no idea. But it's yonder, and those things creed. And,
yeah. Can we? Let's go
There's a
I suggest that we go to the outside side of the gravestones and then just kind of follow that towards the.
Yeah,
I think the skeleton is what we need to go towards.